Okay, in this video we're going to start Act 2 of Kentucky Route Zero. Who is this? Attention, Lula Chamberlain, your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norton, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Note, sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obedient servant, Robert. Let's toss it. Proposals, writing paper. Proposals. Lula sorts through documents, all printed on a fading letterhead reading Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Proposal 1. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Site, distillery, graveyard, baseball court, kennel. A distillery to a graveyard sounds intriguing. The distillery is still active, but scaling down operation to less than half its site. Distillery built on top of graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery / graveyard could share resources. Chapel, once repurposed into bottling facility, could be repurposed into chapel. Yeah, let's endorse it. Hospital, auto dealership, basketball court, kennel. Hospital to a dealership. Hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Auto dealership sanitation requirements comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. I mean, so does this imply that they're just not going to care much about sanitation? Fair enough. Endorsed. Hey, it's Carrington. Guy with the deer horns or whatever. Carrington clears his throat. Busy? Oh, we're buried. Colorful. The death motif is so common in our speech of this age. We always seem to become morbid whenever we bring up work, home life, the weather. So my own thoughts are wandering, clearly. I've got a lot on my mind. Clearly. Well, I'll come straight to it then. The clerk upstairs tells me you've been assigned to my proposal. I've heard nothing in weeks, and I assumed it had been swallowed up by some dragon of administration, but... I've received your proposal, and I'm afraid it's impossible. Of course. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Lula. I'll go now. Oh, Lua, I thought you might like to know. I saw Joseph this evening just after sunset. We sat for a bit, drank some cold coffee, and talked about university days, better days. Maybe for him. Lula and Joseph, that's what was just in limits and demonstrations. So Lula, Joseph, Carrington, and someone named Donald, they all know each other. So we're in the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. We somehow got here, I guess, on the Zero. Get a good rest in the truck. Leg getting kind of stiff. Get good rest? Yeah, I know you love a drive. The window near yours. Yeah, I saw you back there, Homer. Let's talk to Shannon. Didn't we just pass this place? Maybe someone here can point us in the right direction. I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So, what is this place? It looks like an office building, a cathedral. What do you think? It looks like a cathedral. Yeah, a cathedral with an office building in it. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? We're both. Huh, okay, very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. Barrier. End of the line? Maybe it's still under construction. Well, work seems to have stopped for the moment. Man, I hate that we move so slow with, like, our broken leg. Let's ring the bell. Receptionist. Marianne, well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you be both inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing, or are you just lost? Yeah, I guess it is a bit philosophical. Okay, I wouldn't say you're dressed like a philosopher. Oh, how am I dressed? Well, you work like me. I take care of the heating and cooling and watch the front desk. You know, at first I thought you were here delivering whiskey for our little celebration. But you don't look like one of the boys from the distillery either. What do they look like? You've never seen the boys from Hard Times? Well, count your blessings. They cut a grim profile. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. That's the idea. It always is. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first, we've got to get you in the system, so you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around. Seeing the grotesques. The television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles along a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape and must have once belonged to a different crab. The television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm, but precariously fragile. The television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passengers should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. The television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, A stairwell, a mailbox. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. The microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dimmed. The speakers hum impatiently. Wait, are we... Oh, we were, like, stuck for a second. Oh, she's back. Oh, good, I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient, you never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor reviewing some diagrams. The elevator just back to the left there, 5th floor. Books. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Pick up the envelope. The envelope reads Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Guess this is it. So drive clockwise until you reach the Feather, the Dymaxion Gallery, Mineral Springs, Meditation Tunnels. Drive clockwise to the Scarecrow, the Bottle. These are weird. So, 5th floor. On the 5th floor, right? Bears? I guess there are just bears here. Let's head up. Fifth floor, diagrams and drafts. You're not Lula Chamberlain. Your record player sounds a bit messed up, clerk. Clerk? What the... What? Wait, hang on, what? There. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Are you Lula Chamberlain? No. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now, on the 1st floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... Well, 1st floor then. I know why there's a bear room. Hello, are you lost? We're looking for Lula Chamberlain. Oh no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to sort your paperwork first, so we don't waste any of Miss Chamberlain's time. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, we'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and the list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Ingestion card? Oh no. Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Baum first. And he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Baum is just over there in the corner. The guy we just talked to. Or no, he's different. Howdy, here for an ingestion card? No problem. He rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know there are some back in the archive. You had to put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets. Okay. Documents request, 1 ingestion card. Happy to help us. Please put your requisition form in the inbox and get to it as soon as possible. Yes, you don't have one? Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein and she'll get you sorted. This is just a bureaucracy crap. I don't have an ingestion card yet. Okay, this is just a runaround. Where's Lila Chamberlain? Oh no, that's her right there in the cardigan. Finally. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. A grimy old house. Basement full of insects. Attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that Dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the Zero? A gas station attendant told us we need to take the Zero to get there. Gas station attendant. I see. Friendly blind man. Oh, he was blind. Friendly blind man, about my age, hangs out with an old cat, likes to pretend he's a poet. His name is Joseph. Do you know him? Old cat. His name's Joseph. Joseph and I used to work together, and we lived together. We were friends, but that was a long time ago. We haven't spoken in years. Do you know why he's pointing to you this way? It's because he's still in love with me, of course, and now he's implicated you quite inconsiderately. And in your condition, it's appalling. So I'm very sorry for wasting your time, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. No, it's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large-Leafed Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an audience here, or abundance here. Do you have a record of these streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under 0 for ordinance, or, well, O for ordinance, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. 4th floor, then. Archives and records, so 4th floor. 4th floor? Documents. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay, take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. The small logbook has a smart leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Inside front cover, page 114. Okay. Document staff. Please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get new file cabinets in. We're up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Page 1. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Inside back cover. Failing antique shops folder missing, listed checked in on page 63, but not present. Page 63. Check-in. Failing antique shops, Monday 3 p.m. Signee Ed Baum. Let's put it away. Nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or G or S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. Let's head down. Okay, her office is down on the 1st floor. Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, it must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago, can you believe it? And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records I expect, at the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His home office is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. So to find those street records for Dogwood Drive, we need to go to this church. Conway scans column lobby. Get what you need? Be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office, lady. Just another job. But you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the Zero and drive until you hit the crystal. Then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Well, let's go then. Truck. They're ready to leave. That's the Zero. So, all directions start from the Bureau. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Okay, seems simple enough. This is unique. Wait. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Good lord. Speaking of the dice, I still don't know what the significance of the dice we picked up in Act 1 will have, if any. Campfire. Someone stopped here once and built a humble campsite. The fire is still going hundreds of years later. They must have used a bit of that strange cave moss the locals say can burn indefinitely. Other evidence is scattered around the camp. A spiral shape redrawn a few times on the walls in chalk. From memory, from a dream, a wooden pipe carved to look like a toad. A bag that may once have held dried fish, nuts, other food for a long journey. Whatever this traveler was looking for, whether they found it here or not, this was the end of their journey. Their bones are piled neatly by the fire, arranged later by some unknown passerby. The campfire burns on as the truck pulls away. Guys, I think I've messed up. You're looking kind of tired. I'm gonna see if this will take me to the church. Okay, good. Now I need to make it back to the Bureau somehow. Okay. How to get back to the Bureau. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. The tunnels are described as a series of arterials, excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. They're surprisingly large. A distant scratching sound catches Conway's attention from a tunnel leading downwards. Another tunnel runs into darkness to the left. Let's climb down. The tunnel narrows a bit. The air is warmer here. Keep going. Shannon has the sense that something is hiding just out of sight. Keep going. 3 gray-furred cats sit on a piece of driftwood, tails coiled. They regard the intruders for a moment and return to their indifferent leisure. Simply find the feather again and turn around. Okay? Okay, good. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the talon. And come back to the talon. Go back to the talon. Well, wait. I'm trying to figure this out. Just the way the 0 is mapped out is so odd. Okay. Let's not go there just yet. It said 65. I mean, we have to assume this is a bureau. So, it did Mineral Springs. Now we have to drive clockwise to the Scarecrow. where is the scarecrow? Then turn around and head counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. What is this? That's odd. What? Just, you know, deja vu. It's just this weird road. No, you're right. Just this weird road. Huh. Are we supposed to be seeing something there? Oh, there's... Who is that? So counterclockwise till you reach the pendulum. Reverse direction once more, keep driving clockwise. The brochure for these mossy tunnels recommends taking them as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns, slowly like a breathing exercise. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. Let's go right. Conway and Shen grow on both hands through a slick passageway. The moss is going more brightly now. Keep going. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. So left. Another to the left, moss begins to glow. Right. The glow of the moss is almost blinding. Close eyes. Oh, is that all? Her taking us to self-storage is a good way to get back to the beginning. So, to do this, find the crystal and turn around. Alright, so river tunnels is done. Meditation tunnels, so we have this. Wait. We did the river tunnels and the meditation tunnels. Now let's do the Demaxian Gallery. So counterclockwise towards the TV. Okay, fine. Counterclockwise to the bottle. Turn around. Drive clockwise to the still. Turn around. Here it is. What the brochure calls an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a casualty in a battle between God and dinosaur, is more of a rocky valley separating the road from a sheer cliff face. It's difficult to see how deep it runs, as the rock slopes into shadow, but the few dozen lanterns strung across at an interval suggest its scale, larger than a basketball court, but smaller than a financial district. Okay? There's a number. There's a number right there, and I'm tempted to call it. The Deep Valley. We did that. We have not... I don't think we've done that. We have not done that, and we've done that. So we've done 3 out of 5. We'll do the Dymaxion Gallery next. So counterclockwise toward the TV. Cathode ray. We should be coming up on the TV. Bottle. Drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the bar. Gallery. The brochure describes this place as a gallery of mislaid futures, abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. It is a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like rusted vessels mostly painted in a dull green that is now faded toward brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them, and many have been damaged enough to leave menacing bits of metal running jaggedly through their small open spaces. It's all a visitor can do to stand at the edge of the building, neck craned, trying to get a glimpse of something. Let's just get a self-storage. Since it feels like going to that last tunnel thing would basically be the same as the rest. St. Thomas Church. Okay, this is apparently a church. Access self-storage. Shannon. Is that it over there? I don't see any congregation. Maybe it's after hours. Let's see what the janitor knows, I guess. Janitor. Oh, here for the night mass? What kind of mass is it? Tonight, it's a homily on work and need. Huh, I haven't heard this one before. Where's the congregation? I guess this must look pretty strange, a church without a congregation. Oh, his name's Brandon. When they first moved in here, man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, 2 on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly declined. Or dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling. Then the preacher stopped coming too. But he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the bureau archives, photos of people in churches, so I keep it running. You do what you have to, right? We've all got a job. Work is play for mortal stakes. That's the title of the evening's homily, in fact. So I guess if you folks aren't here for the mass, you must be looking for the old bureau records. I moved them down to Unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building, same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I'd better get this running. He presses play on an old tape machine. Is your whole family Catholic? Oh no, we're not religious. I just watched and listened while the congregation did all this stuff, and I probably don't understand as much of it as you might think. I know how to run the overhead projector and the tape player. At least I know enough to keep it going, right? On this day, we celebrate with a feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and on this day, other workers are also celebrating. Workers who do not attend Mass, or even one like it. Even workers who do not attend a church at all, but who toil with clarity, with dedication, with perspicacity, who do as we do here in our church, in as much as they reflect the activity of God. As we do, they cultivate the earth, and at sundown, they call the fruit of their labor very good. Beyond the church, this day is celebrated in remembrance of a violent protest in Chicago, and to honor the 4 martyrs who were unjustly persecuted in its wake, having not only pursued their vocation in their daily labor, but also having pursued their avocation in the form of protest, activism, community building, radicalization, scholarship, and finally martyrdom. There in our avocation being, as it should be for us all, as members of the church or otherwise, to secure for our fellow workers the right to labor with dignity. So, just as there is no dignity without sacrifice, there is no vocation without avocation. Just as the left eye perceives that which is to the left, and the right eye perceives that which is to the right. And these images are summed, differentiated, and incorporated, and we find in our mind's eye an after-image of divine light, only where love and need are one, and the work is play for immortal stakes. Is the deed ever really done, for heaven and the future's sakes? Okay, that's it. Next, there are some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in, I don't think. And I don't remember them anyway. Hi, got it. We were just listening to the sermon. What? I found what we came here to get. The file on street name changes. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out. And then maybe we should go see that doctor the clerk recommended. Let's go. What? What? Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? My leg is stuck. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Are you... Wait, this is back in the mine. It's all messed up. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know, he collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. I think I need to see that doctor. Yes, you do. She hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, you know, here and there. The Bureau's the only way I know. Some of these folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came. Find the crystal, and then turn around. Okay. Find the crystal, and then turn around. Man, just fuck it. Where's the Bureau? Where? There, that was weird. Hey, it's Carrington. Hello, my friends. I'm relieved to run across you again. Hello, Homer. No better place for the road than a hound. I'm afraid I've been unsuccessful in my search for a venue for my play. Have you found anything in your travels? The mine. Ah, there's an idea. Not in the mine, surely. Such a constrained space would have dreadfully oppressive acoustics. But at the surface of the mine, just before sunrise, the resonances and reverberations of an old mining tipple. It's tragic even to think. Yes, the psychoacoustics of the space are of prime concern. Psychoacoustics, definitely. Psychoacoustics is a field of perceptual study. How do we perceive sound? What does it do to our souls? How do sounds work through us? The play must resonate through my actors in their performance, and then it must reverberate out from them, and again resonate through the audience. Theater is mostly acoustic, you see. Yes, I think the exterior of the mine will do wonderfully. Truly, I expect a tragic vision. You've been immeasurably helpful. If you have time later this evening, I'd love to go over my production notes with you. Let's meet me there in a few hours if you like. Many thanks. Back so soon? Can we talk to Lula Chamberlain again? I'm afraid she left in a big hurry, actually. Something happened with your meeting? You need to get to the interstate. 65. Lula filed her papers, so you're in our system now. I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. I think we're ready. There's nothing else to really do here. She hands the receptionist Lula's card. Can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Of course, this is in the neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Get outside, get on 65 going west. Take a right past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. Oh. Well, here we go. The farmhouse is silent and empty. The barn is still gone. So is the cave. A few horses graze in the empty field. What's Equus Oils like? Joseph has fallen asleep in his chair. How about the mine? Radio towers. A roughly circular cluster of narrow radio towers sprout from a muddy field. A ragged chain-link fence strung up around the field would do very little to keep out vandals. Birds and other animals avoid the area. It is forcefully silent. Welcome to the center. The chain-link fence easily folds out of the way. Shannon holds a corner of it off the ground as Conway crawls under. Inside the fence, a subtle but perceptible hum disturbs the air. At the center of the circle, Conway notices a tremor in his vision. His left eyelid twitches. On the ground nearby, a few empty beer cans surround a circle of scorched earth, like candles. Let's check out the mine. The wind howls around the mine entrance. Shannon is anxious to leave. Carrington won't be here for another few hours. So I think they said it was 65 heading south. And take a right past the observatory? Oh, well, there's the observatory. The neighborhood at the address on Little's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. Let's go. Act 2, Scene 4. What is this museum? The Museum of Dwellings. Homer, what do you have to say? Oh yeah, he was talking to his... Who are these guys? Is this from like a security camera? Because that's really cool. Yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. What did he say? Just small talk, you know, like you talk to your buddies or something, like you talk to a dock worker. It's like, damn, this is a lot of rain. I haven't seen rain like this since that storm a couple years back that took out Lysette's herb garden. I just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that to be sleeping on the porch somewhere. But that's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. Shannon. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. What were they talking about? The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know that, so they kept looking around. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that. I just shut myself up in my room to wait it out. No sense getting involved. How did they get in? Must have been one of the kids who left the front door unlocked. Something's got to be done. They'd run around like animals. You know that Flora left a can of soda on top of my shelter door and I almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess next morning? Something's got to be done. Yes, let's have our umbrella out inside. I guess it must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What were they looking at? Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated there. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of the folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back, out of order. So I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down, and it seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in. We'll get your boys back to work soon. Yeah, sure, I get you. You happen to get that last invoice? Huh. Here's your tent. They were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Huh. Well, hey, if you need to ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. I guess this is a museum of... Like, this is literally a museum of different places people stay. Yeah, they came back and knocked on the window, and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but, you know, shady characters. They seemed suspicious? I already told you, weirdos. Walking around door to door asking about Dr. Truman this late at night? I told him what I know, but in this weather? What do you know about Dr. Truman? I told him. He moved in here with the rest of us when you folks brought up the neighborhood. And then one day his house is gone. That's all I know about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm surprised I haven't commented on the fact that we have an umbrella out indoors. You know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I'd heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier before the storm started. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait and a young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What was the stranger like? He was in a bad way. He seemed confused. He was asking about a basketball game. I thought he might be joking. After all, it's not the season. It made his friend uncomfortable, and she changed the subject. She asked about my house. You know, I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. I didn't know that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It's always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like that last one. In fact, he had his umbrella open indoors. It wasn't leaking that badly. Finally, someone commented on that. I heard them banging around out there and I stayed quiet. I didn't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. I only wish we moved a little bit faster. I know we have like a broken leg, but man, I wish we moved a little bit faster. Oh, what's this place? I was playing in that empty cabin and they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I knew where he went, but I didn't tell them. Where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Ezra told me, and I can't tell anyone else. What else did the strangers say? The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he saw and wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring. When he came out, he told me all about it. What did he find in the cabin? He went upstairs and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. What did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than he would when he was downstairs. He could tell how it was all put together. And the cabin, too. He could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird. He said he went into the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. He said he found a staircase in a closet, a secret door in the floor. He dug through the ground to get there. A secret door in the floor. Then he found a rope leading down a long pit and he climbed down. He was surrounded by giant aphids. Let's do the rope. It was so long, his arms got very tired, and he fell in the dark. He didn't get hurt though. He crawled through a tunnel where he found a hidden garden. The garden was very dangerous. but he escaped because he is very tall. He was trapped for a long time, a prisoner in the garden. He had to sleep there. He woke up on the floor of the cabin. He came back outside, and we said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. The moment I now recall most clearly from their short visit is a birdcage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well, and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone, and then they moved on. Who is this? I'm loving this concept, by the way. It's told through a security camera. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Can't sleep in the storm like that. I never could. Why can't you sleep in the storm? Bad memories. Besides, it leaks back here. You have got to fix that roof. There was a steady stream running down the back wall and right through my, this lovely exhibit thing. Anyway, it was just going like a river all night. It's a damn hazard. You got wires everywhere. Don't you people have anyone to look at this stuff? Well, that's why we have our umbrella. We ought to get some real chickens in that coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, you know what I mean? It's just a display. Another kind of dwelling. Yeah, no offense against you guys. I mean, I appreciate what all you've done for us. That dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. They found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer them up a bit. Oh, there is more back here. There's an what is this? Oh, it's an elevator. Do we have to wait on the dog? Alright, let's go. This game is a cinematographer's dream. I love this visual style. Whoa, there's a giant bird, or eagle. We were working in the greenhouse, and I saw them come up in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. But jeez. Oh, of course. I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building. Did they go inside? No, they just looked at it for a bit. I don't know that I'd feel safe setting foot in there personally. It always looks like it's about to take off. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested. Tired, huddling under their umbrellas, they still stopped to examine this strange building. Difficult to see or even hear a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. It should even out shortly, I'd say. You pay close attention to the weather. Hard not to up here. Strangers wanted to know how I coped with the exposure. I guess some people will never understand the appeal of life on a sailboat. It's tragic, I'd say. Well, then they had to leave. Looking for a doctor, I think. The old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Flora was playing down on the lower level, and we've been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when we came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Did you ever hear them talking? Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. He's some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. Didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were here looking for a buyer. Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard them talking about antiques. No, I don't want to go in the greenhouse. Ezra, I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? We got a couple of them at the shop, but this is the only one that runs. Oh yeah, with a truck you've got to keep it up. That's why me and Julian don't use a truck. We just carry the houses. That sounds very impressive. Who's Julian? Where do you take the houses? Where do you take them? Me and Julian take them out to the forest every night, and then we bring them back at dawn before the museum opens. Why do you take them to the forest? This museum is an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then bring them back in the morning. Is their family out in the forest? Oh no, I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but... Anyway, we have a job to do here now. Taking people out to the forest at night so they can sleep. And maybe if the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and want to stay out there, we'll get back to looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? You have to follow the Green River way out east, and then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I just got to call him over. I'm not even going to try to say that. Oh! I guess Julian was the eagle. Whoa, this is cool. From this angle, the building looks strange and abstract, like a pile of intersecting boxes and triangles. Farmhouse. Flying past at a speed and angle, the farmhouse is invisible among the trees. Its location is marked only by Conway and Shannon's memories. From above, huge swaying tipple looks like a small wooden lattice framing the edge of the mine entrance. Green River way out east. A shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a smart blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. So, Green River. Is this Lake Cumberland? Yes, it is. Oh, the forest. Scene 5. A forest. Oh, we're playing as Ezra. There's Julian. It's okay, just take it easy. I'll just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute and then we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? It's my job. It's my last delivery. It's my last delivery. Oh, you're retiring something? Or... Sorry. My set's closing up the shop. That's... Damn. How'd you come to be with these people? I bet you were pretty wild when you were younger. Well, I like you anyway. Lost all my money, but a $2 bill. I love the music. Should be much further now. I think I see where the settlement ends over there. This forest is full of shadows. The moonlight helps. Closer to the cities, you don't get moonlight like this. It all gets washed out. Light pollution, you know? I guess it's still there, you just can't see it. How are you feeling? I just need to rest. We're almost there. Dr. Truman will have a nice couch or something you can rest on. And some medicine or something, I don't know. Have you ever been here in the winter? I bet the lake freezes. Too bad it gets dark so early. Do you have any family you're close with? Brother or sister? Kids? I have a brother, but I wouldn't say we're close. What does he do? Some kind of banker. Kind of a jerk sometimes. Yeah, I know the type. You never talk to him? No, I burned that bridge pretty bad. Who knows? I guess I was always closest with Weaver. As close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up and everyone else was so busy. She disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess I just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. Sorry, you're a good listener. He's inside. Where have you been? We lost sight of you for a minute. Yep, it's easy to get lost, especially out in the woods like this. I never really get lost, though. I just look out for Julian. He's always around. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. I had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never really get to sleep. We just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far and we never got lost, but when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. They just left you? I don't think so. All our stuff was still there. Maybe they got lost somewhere. Let's go see what's on TV. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. But how else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that You can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know, having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother and my best friend in high school destroy his wrists building synthesizers. I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached. But at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I had to follow their market trends a bit. And, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of Noripinol TM. It's not so bad. So, how about that leg? What happened exactly? It was too dark to tell. Stumbling around in the dark. Hey, you might have just twisted it on something, right? Let's take a look. Oh, it's the same song. What are they singing about? The $2 bill song is about hard times. Yeah, everybody has it pretty rough right now. Even if you just want to go home, you'll have problems. Like, it'll be too dark and you'll get scared. Maybe you can just stay lost in the dark. Maybe you'll be okay with that eventually. Your friend's in pretty bad shape, isn't he? But it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk. But you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called Noripinol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it'll be more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is, I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll have a normal conversation as the Noripinol TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with was recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue, so it's a bit complex now. We're in like a dark forest, we're under the anesthetic, and something's going on. And is that Act 2? Is that the end of Act 2? That's the end of Act 2. That was fun. It was an hour 25. Next, I'll be doing the